Time to crank up the truth. I'm Val Selby, and over the decades of working online, I've learned a most important lesson. Mindset owns your business. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then I'm here with Val Full Volume, ready to help you see choices that you're making. Get ready to own your personality and use your expertise to create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. So let's get to it. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Are you ready for me today? I'm not quite sure I'm ready for me today. I'm having a fucktastic day. And this is when I usually don't record because I don't like passing on all of the negative, right? So it's just not usually something that I will jump on because I know that my mouth's just going to go, oh my God, and this and that, and this and that. So I'm not going to go down the rabbit trail of exactly why today's fucktastic. Believe me, everything's okay. It's just one of those days when it's just like, really, again, really, not to mention all of the money and gas that I wasted around driving around in my Jeep today for no reason. But thankfully, my radio and my Jeep's my happy place. Thankfully, my radio, I just decided, you know what? I already have a massive headache from this sinus infection, which was part of the reason I really wanted to get into a walk-in clinic today. And when I got in the car, I'm like, that's it. Spotify, play Metallica, and crank it. If I'm going to have a headache, I'm going to have a headache for a reason. We're just going to go there. We're going to crank my tunes, get my pissed off music on, and be in my happy little car. So that helped a lot. But I don't like days like this. And you know, I notice them even more now because I don't have days like this. And I know it's because I think I've got ear infection, sinus infection. I don't know. It's been a whole week of having tinnitus, and I'm just, oh, right. See, I'm going down that. That's why I don't record when I'm feeling like this. But I do have a really good reason that I do want to record. Well, I have two of them, actually. The first one is I don't want to piss off my podcast manager because I adore her. And I saw the due date is I'm supposed to record this today. So I don't want to piss her off, right? I don't want to pass on my bad day to her. So that's number one. But number two, the reason was that, you know, as everything's just like being fucktastic and I'm like in another appointment and my stuff's not there. And then I go over here and the wait's going to be 2 hours. And I'm like, hell no, I'm already ready to punch people. And nobody here deserves it. And that's the entire point that I wanted to come in and talk about today. Everybody that I was talking to was absolutely fantastic. I mean, fantastic. It wasn't their fault that things didn't get done. You know, the people that were there. So, you know, thankfully I was not in a place where I felt like I needed to like get it out and take it out on anybody. And when I stopped at the grocery store on the way home, and the guy in front of me felt like he like cut in line because I needed coffee. Cause I mean, I was supposed to get my labs done, and that was an 11 o'clock appointment. So needless to say, Val was not a very, very happy person as all of this is going on, because Val had not had any coffee or any food. So can you imagine? I was holding it in because I knew I was like in this hangry, non-caffeinated space with the headache going on from not feeling well on top of it. And when I got to the grocery store and I'm going to go order my Starbucks, and you know, I didn't know what I wanted. I'm just in that space where I'm like, oh, you know, kind of thing with the cart. And the guy in front of me is like, oh, no, go ahead. I'm like, no, you know, go ahead. I really don't know what I want yet. And he, because I pay with my phone, you know, like most of us do, paid with my phone app. And he didn't see me get the wallet out because he was trying to rush over and pay for my drink. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's the sweetest. And you really don't know how sweet that was. I'm like, because it's a day. So just the fact that you were going to do that makes my day. You know, I'm like, I just appreciate you so much for that. So So I do know that any day that's going fucktastic is not 100% fucktastic. I understand that. And so that's when I start going down the rabbit trail of, oh my gosh. And I don't do the what now, because don't ask for shit you don't want. But I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've had a day with so many things not going well that it really hits. But like I said, the great thing was the people that I was talking to, none of this was their fault. And they were so accommodating and even coming up with some other stuff, like, here, sit in the waiting room and try and get a hold of the office. Here's the fax number, get that stuff so we can do it right now. So you don't have to come back in hangry again. And even, at the walk-in clinic, because I wanted to go there and it was going to be a 2-hour wait. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I need to go eat some lunch. I'd had a bar at that point, but I need to go eat some lunch. Do you guys do a text message thing? No, our system doesn't do that. But if you wanted, you could just keep calling in to see if you're getting close. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that just doesn't sound like something I can do today. I don't think I can do that today. And there was some other stuff in there, which is where I'm going with this right now. What do you want your customer experience to be like? Now, some of this, none of the people that I was talking to directly had any part in making the day fucktastic. But the people that did make it fucktastic is because they didn't do parts of their jobs. And that's the frustrating thing. That's the customer experience right now that I'm really, really unhappy about. Because if my paperwork had gotten put in, I wouldn't have driven out for absolutely no reason. And that was my doctor's office not getting my paperwork in, even though I had emailed to double check, because I am coming from a ways out. So I even double checked, right? And that's poor customer service. It is poor customer service. Follow through. I should have done this months ago. And I do understand that I'm a grown-ass woman and I need to take responsibility for my health. But, like when I'm talking to my husband about it, I'm like, I don't deal with people's lives like in a health way. I'm dealing with people's lives, yes, but not in a health that could be a dire health way. And I even have things set up for alerts of check in with this person in 2 months, check in with this person in 3 months, check in with this person in 6 months. So why doesn't my doctor's office, right? And, the walk-in clinic, the issue was that one of the walk-in clinics is no longer a walk-in clinic, which I understand. My husband's a first responder, and I understand how many people have left the medical profession. And so there's just no staffing, and I get it, but it doesn't say that on their website. It didn't say it anywhere. So I drove all the way back across town again, where I had already been earlier, more gas wasted, and then got told that it was a 2-hour wait. So customer experience, these things could be changed by customer experience. And so as it's coming up, and I'm really working on not going down the what the hell now kind of thing, because I did have to stop that. Believe me, I had to shut that shit down. As I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, okay, so what can we figure out and learn from this right now? And I don't usually do that. I just knew I had to stay in a happier place. What can we take away from this? And it was customer experience. And for me right now, I know that I don't feel like my customer experience is flowing like I would like it to. I know right now, let's see, this is coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. Right now, I'm in the middle of revamping and redoing and updating my pages. So my takeaway from today is going to be, what do I want the experience to be when you come to my website? When you come to my homepage, what do I want to happen? What do I want you to know? And I know right now, well, by the time you're reading this, or listening to this, it'll have changed. But I know right now I'm not happy with that. I don't feel right at this very moment that you would be able to tell how I can help you. I don't think you would be able to tell where to go next, what to do next. So I'm taking away from today, what do I want the customer experience to be? What do I want your experience to be when you come to my website? What do I want you to know? What's the first thing I want you to do? Right? So take a look. What's your customer experience like on your website? And I know that often we're not necessarily sending people straight to our homepage, but if somebody lands on your homepage, do they know who you are by landing on that homepage? Do they know what you do? Does it very, very pointedly tell them, do this? Now, I know that this is better. When I was running Your Bold Life, I brought in a Pinterest manager, which was amazing experience, by the way. I learned so much and it was awesome. And she did great for bringing in a bunch of new leads from Pinterest. But this was somebody that I had not met before. And when she went to my website, she's just like, okay, so what do you do? What is your site about? And of course, for me, I'm talking about it all the time. I, was on some summits and I was running the podcast and I'm talking about what I do all the time. And I'm like, weird. So I went to my website and I looked at it with fresh eyes and I went, oh my God, it really doesn't tell what I do. It really doesn't tell what I do. It's just assumed that I'm sending people there. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty eye-opening. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is this, and this. She's like, okay, so how about if we changed, some of this? And, we got to talking, of course, but I was like, wow, I need to really work on finding people with fresh eyes and seeing if I can pick their brain about, hey, will you take a look at this? And that's a great option. Come into the free group and partner up with somebody that you don't know and take a look at each other's sites. Ooh, I'm going to post that in the group. So I better make a note of that. When this goes out, we're going to talk about it. Okay. So we're going to see about partnering up with somebody that you don't know and looking at each other's websites without knowing each other, and come up with, okay, what does this website saying to you? What's the feel? What's the vibe that you're getting from it? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. You better join the group, join the free group, join, come in there and let's do that. Like I said, mine will be updated by the time this is coming out, but I really want us to pay attention to what are we trying to get across? What do we want our customers to do? And the more that we tell them what we want them to do, the more apt they are to doing that, because we have to tell. That's the call to action. We have to tell them, hey, start here. This is the best spot to start with me because you have this going on, right? Okay, so I need to go get some more work done. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much. Now I have to go and talk to my husband because he tells me one more time that today is Positive Friday. Recording obviously on a Friday, and our local radio station does Positive Friday, which started about 36 minutes ago. And he's like, hey, you got to perk up. It's Positive Friday. I'm like, Positive Friday, could suck it. So if he tells me one more time, you'll have heard it. You'll have heard it all across the internet. Anyways, all right. So go check out, what is your user experience? What is your homepage telling them? What's your about page telling them? I know this is like a whole thing, but just go and make note, and even before you go check, do this. Wait, don't go. Before you go in and check your pages, sit down and realize, what do you want those pages to be saying and doing? And then go take a look at them and see if it's going that direction. I think that might be just a little bit easier for you to go and do some updates. If you already come in with, this is what I want it to say about me and what I want them to do. And then you can go and check. And if it's not doing that, then I think you can go and update it pretty quickly that way. I know sometimes it's a lot harder for me to go to my pages and go, oh gosh, what do I want it to say? I don't even know now. It's worse than looking at a blank page. So go sit first, figure out what you want it to say and what you want them to do, and then go take a look at your homepage and your about page and see where your best links are. And don't forget to check your website on your phone settings. If you're in Thrive like I am, check the Thrive phone setting to see how it's going to look and see if it's the same user experience, because a lot of the times it's very different between a website page on a PC or Mac or on your phone. It gives a different user experience. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening. Later.